Hi all, welcome you all to the lecture video session on project objectives, characteristics, scheduling and also the capital building process. We shall discuss in this lecture video about the project objectives and then the characteristics before proceeding to project scheduling. What is a project? We all know that it is a scheduled set of activities and which are aimed towards the creation of a particular asset as per the plan specifications with the view to generate the wealth that is estimated. So what are the characteristics of the project? Characteristics of the project are: project has a owner, project has a set of objectives to achieve within the given time, and then project is a planned, managed and controlled activity and it is assigned to a team with the project team is planted within the owner's organization, and it is to achieve the objectives of the as per the planned schedule. Project in general is an outcome in response to the environmental, economics and opportunities, and project is an undertaking involving future activities for completion of the project within the estimates, and then it also involves complex budgeting procedures with a mission. Project is like a implementation of the project involves a coordination of the works between many people, human resources as well as the project team and the manager. And the project also it involves the activities that is to be carried out in future, and it also inherents some of the risks and then the reality and the certain costs and then the certain overrun, and it also at the time of process of implementation it may necessitate the necessary changes with responding to the external environment. And projects have a start and then the end characteristic of life cycle, and the objectives of the project is not only for money making mission, but it also creates a huge impact on the society. And it also some of the projects may be undertaken during the emergency, on account of emergency and the need of the national importance, like the COVID-19 or COVID-19 situation, or defense, or it could be the emergency situation or the security of the nation. And there are projects within the industrial organization with a social objective, like under the corporate social responsibility programs, and there are also instances where the industrial organizations are looking to upgrade their technology and to achieve and maintain a leading position, and they may expand the project, and they may introduce new products on and often while doing the R&D in place. So the project, when it is finalized, will have certain objectives which are well stated. It is a time bound program, and the most of the outbound the cost of the bound activities are well placed in terms of money is already projected, and it should also conform to the technical specifications that it is going to involve, and also the delivery of the project is also going to be scheduled with respect to the time and then the place. These are the objectives, and then these objectives are finalized before launching the project. And what are the different type of the phases that we have already discussed about it, and how do we classify the project, that also we discussed about it. And there are different type of projects which can be stated, and they are nothing but defensive project, aggressive project, normal project, and crash projects, and also disaster project. And there could be the projects could be of national and the international importance, which could be named as national and international project, industrial and non-industrial project, projects that are based on the technology, projects that are based on its size, which we have discussed. And we also there are certain projects which are based on the ownerships also, like public sector projects, private sector projects, and also joint sector projects. And there could be the need-based projects. Need-based project could be like balancing project, modernization projects, and then the expansion projects, and also the diversification project, and also there could be rehabilitation project. As I already mentioned, there could be the plant relocation project. So these are the project characteristics, these are the types of the projects. And when we think about the aspects of the project, there are two aspects for the project. So the aspects of the project management, when we discuss, there are two different aspects of a project. The first one is the preliminary aspect of analyzing the product, its marketing, technical, financial and economical aspects. The second one is the feasibility aspects of a project. What it contains is that, like what it has, feasibility aspect contains the adequate information, that the sufficient information for decision making, and sometimes it will also include the implementation, the informations. So when we think about the important aspects of the projects are the aspects related to certain like the headlines, that what we can think of are, the first one is the related aspects are related to the product and the service. What are we concerned with when the aspects are with respect to the product or the service? It is concerned with the preliminary, the first one, the preliminary. Second one is the choice of the product or the services. Third one is the technical characteristics of the product or the services. And the fourth one is the use of the product or services. Second aspect is the marketing aspect. When we think about the marketing aspect of a product, then it is concerned with, the first one is the consumer preferences. Second one is the nature of competition that it has got from the market. And then the potential aggregate demand that it can address in the market, and then the likely share of the project, that how much market share it can expect when it is launched. The third aspect of the product is that technical aspect. Technical aspect of a project is that it is concerned with the location, the scale of operation, the machineries, and then the manufacturing processes, and then the plant and machinery, where it is located and who the supplier is, and also the plant layout comes into the picture, and also the work schedule. The fifth aspect is the financial aspect, where the outlay of the fixed assets and the current assets what the promoter has got, and the working capital, how much it can be invested on the raw materials, and the short and the long term credits, and then the finance, and then the bills, payments, credits, market market worthiness, all this comes into the picture. Economical aspect of a project is that utility to the society, how well it is going to change or how well it is going to be used by the society, and then how much employment can be generated, how much ancillary industries development can happen, and then the scope for the area development, and also the social benefits the project can bring in. And when we think about the financial viability, then the feasibility studies will come into picture, like cost and benefits, risk characteristics, and viability, internal rate of return, IRR, all these will come into picture. The profitability aspect of it says what are the revenues and then the earning that can happen out of the project, and then what are the costs involved, what is the profit projection, and then the real time profits, break-even analysis of the operations has to be done. Financial projection aspect of it says what is the perfect balance sheet, and then what is the performance on the balance sheet, debits, credits, and then the source and the use of funds, all this will come into the picture. So socio-economic desirability of a project aspect is that social goals, cultural feasibility, and then the desirability of the project from the social angles, like ecological ways, and then the social ways, and then the cultural ways, and what is the maximum return that it can give back to the society comes into the picture. These are the different various aspects of the project, and then the project when it is conceived. So after this, we need to identify the project with respect to certain parameters. So project identification is a repeatable process for documenting, validating, ranking, and then the approving the candidate projects with an organization. So for the process purpose, financial conditions will keep on changing and within the total organization. So it is always necessary to establish a stable process for approving the projects for initiation. Any new project, we have to follow this procedure. The process purpose will include validate the business reason for each candidate project and provide the base information for more informed financial commitments to the project. Establish a more allow a more effective matching of skilled resources to the right budget. Next one is to avoid over allocating the limited skill resources for the project. Then anticipate future human resource quantities or the qualities and then the skills. Provide a valid basis for staff training, and also make a project initiation faster and then more efficient. This is the process purpose of a project description. And when the process flow comes, then we have to certify the business case, and that means we have to develop a document for the business case, evaluate all candidate project implementation phase and then the information that has been provided in order by the requesting organization, and we have to gather all the information of the technical analysis, and it has to be well documented. And then business case has to be reviewed properly, and then it has to be examined by screening body with respect to the corporate authority, and to accept and it is the responsibility of the corporate authority to either to reject or to accept the candidate project. And update the business case, like when we update the business case with an additional information that is received on a candidate project, it has to be updated thoroughly, and the pending business pending business case from the repository, and it has to be withdrawn, and then the data have to be revised. And second aspect, or the second the second process is that we have to rank the candidate in the process flow. After certifying the business case, then we have to rank the candidate project. Rank the candidate project with respect to the target due dates, completion, and then the impact of the technology architecture, and also the impact on other applications, the byproducts, as well as the project size, and then the time, cost, and the duration, and then the project risk that is involved. Third way is to go with the evaluation of the resources, and then the inventory has to be maintained by the for all the corporates, and the information have to be given. Resources that are available for the project management has to be properly updated, and additionally inventory of the available contract resources have to be maintained, and that should also be captured. And then the purpose of this skill inventory is to understand the true capabilities and then the capacities of the resources. And the next one is to determine the resource needs, find out the identification of the skilled personnel, identification of the critical training, identification of the employment opportunities, and also the criteria for contract professionals. All these have to be identified, and then the project the project identification has to be done in terms of all this. Next step is to approve the project. Select the best project out of all the proposed candidate projects, and then based on the information that is provided by the ranking process, and also all the core process have to be considered, and then core process of the business owners, and also the business who will authorize the specific project for the initiation. And then assign the resources. Required resources have to be assigned. Project manager has to be identified, and then the project team has to be identified. Skilled resources have to be identified, and then they have to attempt to make the look as more productive. So what is the importance of the project identification is that the financial responsibilities and the financial conditions within the organization keep on changing. So we need the process has to identify, and a process has to be a stable process against the inflation, and the inflation has to be taken into account. So the process should validate the business reason for each candidate project. It has to provide the base information of all the financial commitment to the project, establish a more objective ranking of the candidate projects, and it has to allow more effective matching of the skilled resources to the right project, and it should also avoid over allocation of the human resources and the skilled resources to one particular project, and it should also anticipate human resources, and then it should also validate the staff training. So because of the priorities, finances and then the resources may change at any time, but the project has to tackle all these changes, and it has to use the criteria and against the aging of the project, and then the significant size of the project, and also it has to have the new work order process as and when it changes. So the project process flow has to identify the risk, and then accordingly the plan has to be kept in place. So the plan is it is not intended for the operational requests that may be handled directly by the IT help desk and or small initiatives, but it is the immediate scheduling operation has to be kept in place. So the process flow will have basically the 5 different steps. First one is the certify business case, second one is the rank candidate projects, third one is evaluate the resources, and then the fourth one is the determine the resource needs, and the fifth one is the approve the project. So generate the capital investment for the project approvals, and then it will be easy for to classify the investment projects. The project scheduling has to be done at the right time. So we will discuss about the project scheduling in the coming lecture video, that is the next lecture video. Thank you everyone.